Hello again, and welcome back to the Women Making Herstory series. I am your host today, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, and we are delighted to be featuring 31 visionary women. And today's guest is going to surprise you and inspire you to enjoy your life even more than you already are. And she's got some great tools to show us how to do that. So I'm thrilled to introduce to you my good friend, commonly known as the Gratitude Gangsta, Vismaya Rubin. Thank you for being with us.
Super excited. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, I am happy to be here. I love your shirt. I have several of them, and I can't even begin to tell you that every single time I wear that shirt, it fosters a conversation. And
yes, it does.
Good feeling conversation as well.
It happens to me all the time. I go places, I've gotten high-fived, I've gotten hugs, I've gotten kisses. I haven't gotten a date yet, but that's coming. Yeah, but it always starts conversations like, oh my God, I like your shirt. What are you grateful for today? Or people smile. And then I have to look down. I remember what I'm wearing. And it's always interesting. It's always very fun.
It is. All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit today about gratitude, this movement that you have about living in gratitude today. And let me share with our viewers a bit about your background so they can gain some perspective on the awesomeness that is Vismaya. So Vismaya is the founder of Living in Gratitude Today. She's a best-selling author, speaker, educator, entrepreneur, and as I mentioned, the founder of Living in Gratitude Today. After 20 years of teaching at a Miami-Dade high school, she took a leave of absence to focus on the gratitude movement that she founded. She learned that when we practice gratitude, we open the door for more happiness, joy, productivity, and stronger connections with the people around us. Now she's on a mission to share the benefits of a gratitude practice, how to start one, and most importantly, how to maintain it during difficult times. Vismaya teaches about gratitude at both live events and webinars all over the United States. She was a high school teacher in South Florida, and as a teacher, she brought the practice of gratitude to her students and encouraged them to find things to be grateful for every day. And actually, she made it part of their homework. Now, that's a cool teacher. Student after student shared that since they started their lives are better than ever, and their grades improved. So, wow, thank you for being such a visionary teacher, leader, and as you like to call it, a gratitude gangsta.
But you always have to say gratitude gangsta. What? It happens every time. I don't know why.
I didn't know. Let me try that on. Gratitude gangster. What? Okay. Well, and so let's actually talk about that, because you know, when I first heard gratitude gangster, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it. And we've talked about lots of different things, and this, so share with me what that means for you and how you own it.
So, you know, it's interesting because I really took it on very recently because I was getting a lot of flack, because you also told me, don't use gangsta. And I was getting that from a lot of people, like, don't use gangsta. It has a bad connotation. You know, when you hear gangster, you think of people who are killing each other. And I finally decided, you know what, I resonate with it, and I'll share with you why. And I also thought it was really powerful because during, Women's Month, especially, to take it on as women, how many times do we, kowtow to things that we really want to do because people tell us, no, it's not a good idea. It's people aren't going to like it. They're not going to like you. They're not going to. And really, when it's something that resonates with us, that it makes us feel good, I own gratitude gangsta. I love the term. I own it. I feel good with it. And, part of my growth is saying, I'm sorry if you don't agree with it. If you want to hear why I call myself a gratitude gangster, I would love to share it with you. Mm-hmm. But if not, that's okay too. So I'll share with you why it's such a term of endearment for me. I was teaching my students about writing comparative and contrast essays. And we just read 2 stories about gang members who had gotten out of a gang for different reasons. They both joined and they both got out for different reasons. And after the conversation, I was teaching them how to write the comparison contrast essay, and I said, I don't understand, why would people want to be in a gang? I don't get it. Like, why would you want to be jumped in and the violence? And my fifth period class, whom I adored, said to me, Miss, we're gangsters. My eyes popped out of my head for a second, and I said, okay. And I just started to listen, because I've learned that you've got to be quiet sometimes, especially when kids are talking. So I said, okay, tell me more. We're gratitude gangsters. Okay, I'm thinking to myself, I like where we're going. I said, all right, tell me about it. We go around and we say, I like you. I like your shoes. I like your hair. I like your outfit. We walk around and we give hugs to people. We make people feel good. And it was funny because at the end, they're like, yeah, and we have those pop out guns with the flags. I'm like, no guns. But they're like, wait, miss, but they're the ones with the flags that say thank you. And when I heard them say that, the term gangster completely took on a whole new meaning. It sounds like an oxymoron. I realize gratitude gangster, but the way they really took it on, I love it. I own it now. It's mine, and these kids.
Well, let me just say what it sounds like to me. And so thank you for sharing that, because I didn't know the depth of how it really was born. What that sounds like to me is a gangsta is somebody who's willing to fight for something. And you're willing to fight and put yourself out there for gratitude, for having gratitude practice and having more people be in it. And you brought that to your students. They could take that on at such a depth. That's the good fight, as we would call it, right?
Yeah, it was really powerful. I actually went back the other day just to kind of say hello, because I haven't been teaching. And next year will be the last year that I know any students in my school. So I went back just to kind of say hi and see how they were doing. And I was security guard during lunch. But it was interesting because some of them are not writing down what they're grateful for, but they're still in that conversation. One kid actually came up to me and says, Miss, he's like, I haven't stopped the gratitude charts. So they have them at different levels, but that conversation is always going to be present in their mind. They will take that with them wherever they go. And I think that's the power. And then they get to, implement it or not. And what came out of those conversations with them is they realized how lucky they were to spend time with their family, and nothing changed, but they started to realize things more that were prominent in their life that they never paid attention to. They spent time with their family. One girl says, I realize that when I'm kind of sad or depressed, I get to go out and do something for somebody else and make a difference for other people. Another kid came up to me and said, I'm so excited to write on my gratitude chart every day. She's like, I just love it. And so it started to become part of who they are. And I truly believe that even if they're not physically writing down at this point, it's still in their way of being. It's still in their mind. It's still in their consciousness. It doesn't leave them.
Yeah, that's so good. What great seeds to plant in our youth, right? So thank you for that, for being cutting edge. What's coming to mind for me is, obviously, I am a big believer, proponent, practitioner of gratitude and feeling like extreme appreciation for everything that I have. And I have a little bit of a concern, and here's what my concern is. Having a gratitude practice, just saying those words or listing things that you're grateful for, like we hear it all the time, oh, show gratitude, show gratitude. I'm
right.
concerned that the meaning and the power of it could get lost. So can you speak to that depth a little bit?
I agree with you, because I think, first of all, the whole conversation of an attitude of gratitude, that does not resonate with me at all. I will share something with you that was probably one of my favorite quotes that I've heard as of recent. The question was posed, there are only two types of people who never experience negative emotion. Can you take a guess who they are?
No.
Okay. So the first group,
nothing popped in.
The first group are people who are dead. And the second group are people who are psychopaths. So if you ever experience negative emotion, blessing, fantastic, because you're not dead and you're not a psychopath. And I bring that up because of this. I think so often when we hear, attitude of gratitude and write things down, I think what happens, wake up and say, oh, I'm so happy I'm alive. What happens is that people believe or feel that they're never allowed to have negative emotions. They're never allowed to experience anything that makes them sad or frustrated or angry. And I don't think that's it. That's not it for me, because I go through the whole gamut of emotions. I feel happy and I feel sad, and I do it, 100%. So when I'm sad, I'm sad. When I'm happy, I'm happy. And I think that what happens is that we go through these actions where we're supposed to be one way all the time. And I think that's where there's a disconnect. So what I tell people is it's okay to feel how you're feeling, and realize that even in the middle of all that chaos, you can still take a moment and pause and ask yourself, did anything happen? Give yourself a few hours, within a few hours, that really stands out, that made me laugh, that made me feel joyous, that made me feel good. Because for me, waking up and saying, I'm so glad I'm alive, that doesn't resonate with me. Or, I'm so glad I have air to breathe or food to eat, which are all wonderful. But really what I teach people is to look for those moments that either you created or are created on the outside.
Mm-hmm. And when you pause in the midst of a storm, or within those few hours of some storm, challenge, or tragedy happen, that actually can be the turning point to recovery from whatever it is that happened.
Right. And I also think the important part there is to compartmentalize. Like, this is happening, that's not so pleasurable. That doesn't mean everything is blown up in a problem. Mm-hmm. And I think that's also where the disconnect comes in, because when something happens, we tend to go, oh my God, my life is horrible and nothing to be grateful for, which isn't true. It's just this area right now is a problem, and acknowledge it and own it. And it's okay to feel that way.
Yeah. So so thank you. And I want to
You're welcome.
I want to go to the, like, how you made this leap. So let me start by saying, as a teacher, you were already making history. As a woman in this world, all the travels you've done, your steady path that you were on, you were already making history. And now you left that behind, and you're completely 100% committed to this mission. So how did that come about for you?
I had great coaches. You're one of them. You and Sandra Hainsworth. I would tell my students, go for your dreams, reach for the stars. If you have, an idea or a vision, go for it. And I'm sitting in a place that no longer served me. And I had a choice. I either, practice what I preach, or I sit there and I grow stale and grow old and grow miserable. So in 2017, June, I believe June 9th, 2017, I took a jump and I said, it's all or nothing. And everybody says, well, what's your plan B? And I don't have a plan B. Technically I could still go back. But honestly, the way I feel is that if I go back, part of me is dying if I go back. So it was really about having the faith, taking a jump, realizing that every day is not going to be easy, creating something. I think this is the one thing I'm really proud of, is that every product I create has been stellar, has been quality, and really making sure that whatever I put out there is something that I know will make a difference, or doing everything with that intention, and just taking a leap of faith and saying, I know this will happen the way I want it to happen.
Yeah, and it is. And gratitude and appreciation for each step in the journey is part of that, right?
Yeah, it is, and there's days that I have to remind myself, like, look at the truth. Don't look at the circumstances. Don't look at the appearances of the way things are showing up. Know and hold true to that. So it's all about, staying focused and staying in that path of gratitude and staying true to what I believe in.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, I am grateful that you've done so. Let's talk a little bit about some of the products. So you've got t-shirts, you've got bracelets, you've got this amazing journal that you created. Talk about the journal.
So the journal is my newest project. It's a 3-part journal. and it's magical. So the first part is there's places you can write down your daily gratitudes, both large and small, and it's really important to remember to write down the small things as well. We always remember the big things, but it's the little things that sometimes push us over the edge and make us feel delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So you write down your daily gratitudes. You write down at the bottom of each page, there's a gratitude action step. So the idea is that you're able to, if you want to amplify your level of gratitude or happiness and joy, do the action step. If you're feeling a little down and you want to bring it back up, do the action step. So there's action steps you can take on a regular basis that make you feel good.
Yeah.
And the last part is I had a group of my friends, and I can honestly say my friends who have participated in it, and they offer free gifts to people that will support people, mind, body, spirit. So it's just, it's a big book filled with gifts, and you write down your daily gratitude. So it's filled with positive vibes through and through, and it's beautiful. It's
So
absolutely
good.
beautiful.
So good. And what an inspiration you had. I remember when we talked about it, and one of the things that I've observed about you is you follow through on inspired action. Like an idea comes, it feels good, and you follow through on it.
That has been probably one of the things that has pushed me the most forward. Even yesterday I was talking about it. Because I'm going to the happiness summit, and one of my favorite positive psychologists is going to be there, and I'm like, let me reach out to him. And I've reached out to him a few times and see if he needs a ride from the airport, which is ludicrous because he doesn't know me. But at the same time, I said, maybe who knows? So I sent him a note. I said, listen, I'll be there. If you need a ride, let me know. He said, thank you. I'll see you there.
But still, he could have said yes.
And he still might. It's not until next week. So it was just about doing those things, and it's kind of like a game, and at the same time, it's not, because all I know is that if I don't take the risk now or the chance now or do what I'm inspired to do or pulled to do, that opportunity may not come up again.
So good. So good. All right. Well, we are going to talk about, I know you've got a gift for everybody, and then you can also go to her website, get these t-shirts. I'm telling you, just wearing them makes you feel good. So the link will be below where you can get all of that, and there's a free gift for you. I want to know, who is a woman in history who's made an impact in your life?
My grandmother, and I'm going to probably get a little teary-eyed here. Her name was Ruth K. Siegel, Ruth Kleiman Siegel. And she was my everything. She was a warrior. She fought for women. She created programs for women. She worked for the federal government. She had a program called Federally Employed Women, where she brought flex hours so that people could come in a little bit later or leave a little bit earlier. They had scholarships for women so that they could go back to school. She was a realtor. She traveled. She beat by the tune of her own drum. She was an amazing woman.
Well,
Yeah.
what an extraordinary role model for you, so close to home.
Yeah, I mean, one of my first memories is walking around wearing a shirt that says "Never underestimate the power of a woman" at 7 years old, because she and my mother were so involved in women's rights and marching and fighting for equality.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. And what was it? Ruth was her name?
Ruth K. Siegel.
Thank you, Ruth K. Siegel. We appreciate you. Oh, this has been amazing. So let our audience know what this free gift is that you have. And again, you can just click on the link below.
So it is a 10-day gratification. What? So it's a gratitude challenge.
I like it. Let's go on a gratitude vacation. That's going to feel good.
Yes. I did not want to call it a gratitude challenge, because challenge isn't fun. Challenge is hard. So it's a gratification where you go for 10 days and it's virtual, and it's about, each video that I put out is about 5 minutes maximum. So it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time, but what it does is it presents you to really all the delicious stuff in your life. Some of the stuff you do already, but now you get to do it consciously. And what you'll notice at the end of the 10 days is that you feel better. Your relationships are stronger. You're happier. You're smiling more. And do it. You'll love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Do it. Let's do it. The Gratitude Gangster says, do it.
What?
because we're fighting. Oh, right, I forgot. We're fighting for gratitude. We're fighting for more love. I'll take on that warrior mode right along with you, my friends. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So get on your gratitude, my friends, and make sure you click on the link below to take advantage of the gratification. And also, if you haven't done so yet, click the other button that says join the movement. We appreciate you, we honor you, and check your inbox for the next in this extraordinary series. Thanks for joining us, and thank you, Vismaya.
Thank you, Nancy.
My pleasure.